Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on the New Main Street TV. We're so happy to have you here with us today, and it is a beautiful sunshiny day. And you know what? It's a beautiful sunshiny day in the studio because our good friend Pete Wilson is here, and he always brings sunshine into a room. And he is here to do the morning news update, brought to you by Nia Henry, agent for Appalachia Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell, give Nia a call, 740-418-4135, and she'll be out working hard for you. All right, Mr. Sunshine over there, how you doing, buddy?
Well, we're ready to roll. Ready to roll. It's Thursday.
Yay!
It's one day closer to Friday, right?
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, it will be a busy Thursday. A lot going on. And, of course, this is the opening day for the Vinton County Wild Turkey Festival.
It is finally something normal.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
We can look upon it that way. That was one of the big events that, of course, did not happen last spring because of the pandemic. And
Correct.
A lot of the things are happening now. Maybe not quite back to normal, but closer to normal. And they are happening. But the Wild Turkey Festival will officially open at 5 o'clock this evening. There'll be opening ceremonies there. And at the ceremonial ribbon cutting, the symbolic start to the whole shebang, the Vinton County Lady Vikings will help snip the ribbon along with Olivia Mayers, who was in the state cross-country meet last year. So they will be recognized for their exploits, and that should help draw a crowd too, because we know how the Lady Vikings, what their standing is in MacArthur and Vinton County. But as far as the evening goes, once we have the ceremony and the ribbon cutting out of the way, the big attraction tonight will be something that's very popular in our area, and that's karaoke. There'll be a male open contest and a female open contest. And before that, there will be what they're calling a Vinton County Talent Quest. That's at 6:30. The male open contest is at 8 o'clock. The female open contest at 9. So you can see by the allocation of time that they have there, they're expecting quite a few people to step up there.
All right, I'm going to interrupt you guys. What is your personal go-to karaoke songs?
Well, the only song that I sing semi-publicly, and this is within a closed group, is the theme song from the play Oklahoma. I would do that at karaoke if I had sufficient encouragement.
That means alcohol.
How's that one go, Pete? What song is that?
It's the Rodgers and Hammerstein play Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain, where the waving wheat can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. That's how it starts.
Good job. My
Pop that,
goodness.
Jim.
That was my high school play. So.
Oh, was it?
That's right. And some of my compatriots there never let me forget. Now, I didn't have that singing part for obvious reasons, but I was in the play.
I thought it sounded great.
Right. Well, I've had a lot of practice, put it that way.
Well, I'll just tell you, the only time I ever sing karaoke, to get me to sing karaoke, I would have to be so, shall we say, altered in my state of mind that I don't remember what I sang.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. Nobody wants Jen singing karaoke.
Okay. Well, I think you'd probably be pretty good myself because you've got the spirit. That's part of it. But anyway, the Wild Turkey Festival, yes, it does open tonight. It is on the downtown streets of MacArthur.
I think you should go sing that.
Well, sure. Oh, sure. The male open contest.
I think it's fantastic.
See, I've got other activities tonight. I'm going to be praying tonight instead of singing.
That's right.
We'll get around to that a little bit later.
Okay.
Anyway, but anyway, tonight I should mention the Vinton County High School Marching Band will be there. They will be doing the national anthem to help open things up as well.
So
okay,
exciting.
But the festival does go through Sunday afternoon. Officially closes at 5. The big day, as always, will be Saturday. Things going on all day. You've got live entertainment. You've got all kinds of vendors. You've got queens getting crowned on Saturday night. You've got a grand parade on Saturday evening at 6. So a lot going on, and pretty much as normal. Now, the part that isn't normal at the Wild Turkey Festival is that they do want you to abide by COVID-19 related health and safety guidelines. They actually put out a Facebook post, the committee people, Jennifer did, earlier in the week to underscore this. And, they expect, folks to kind of comply and police themselves. Obviously, it would be very difficult for the committee people and others, law enforcement, health department, whatever, to do this. So you're kind of on your own, but they have set it out here. And here are some of those guidelines. Yes, you need to wear a mask. It is outdoors, but you need to wear a mask and practice social distancing at all times on festival grounds and premises. A mask means a device made of a material that covers the nose, mouth, and chin of the wearer. In case you may have a different idea what a mask is. You are to avoid gathering in groups of more than 10 people and separate from those groups by at least 6 feet. So this isn't going to happen unless people are mindful of it and they're diligent in executing it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And there may be people there to remind you a little bit. And the big challenge, of course, will be Saturday when there's more people there and they have a parade. But beyond what I've already said, festival staff, volunteers, vendors, entertainers, and visitors should perform a daily health assessment and stay home if experiencing fever, cough, or other signs of COVID-19. Of course, I know that the people who are participating have been coached and advised of this probably already. But if you're a visitor, you may be hearing it for the first time, or you may see the post before you go, or you may not see the post before you go. But if you aren't feeling well, it's just kind of like when this whole thing started about this time last year. Don't go to a public place if you think you may be sick, because, it still could be COVID-19. Festival staff and volunteers will record their temperature and the time of arrival at the festival on a log maintained at the festival information tent. If other festival attendees would like their temperature checked, you can do that at the festival information tent. You are asked to maintain at least 6 feet of distance from others if you're by yourself. You're asked to wash hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds or use hand sanitizer frequently. There will be hand sanitizer stations located throughout the festival area. Please follow 6-foot spacing markings where they are present. Some places may be marked where the vendors are. They made this statement, they prefaced this statement with all these guidelines and protocols that they want you to follow. This is actually the first event in the state that is part of the Ohio Festivals and Events Association. And so they feel that like they're going to be watched. And how well this goes may influence what may happen in the future as far as the festivals go. They say, to be frank, if we fail to promote and practice public health and safety, other fairs and festivals later in the year could be curtailed. On the other hand, we can be a model for fairs and festivals moving ahead. So,
pressure's on a little bit.
The easiest thing, once they got the go-ahead to be able to do this from the state, would be to just let it happen. They are trying to see that it is as safe as possible this evening and all through the festival. So the biggest part of that is on us who attend.
That's right.
All right, as far as the COVID-19 case updates, we only have one thing to report, and that's from Vinton County. The latest report from the Vinton County Health Department, as you look at the infographic up on your TV screens or computer monitors, if you're tuning in that way, there was one new case from the last infographic we had. They now stand at a total of 737 confirmed cases. The number of active cases did go up from 2 to 3. However, there are still no hospitalizations current in Vinton County, and there hasn't been a virus-related death for several weeks now. So that stands at 19. But this is a big weekend for Vinton County because, there's going to be some folks downtown, numbers that we don't normally have on a regular day. All right. The Jackson County Commissioners honored a very special gentleman at their meeting earlier this week, and this is a guy that a lot of people know, but he kind of worked behind the scenes in a very important government-type job, and that is Gary Keller, a longtime resident. Gary Keller, if you're looking there on TV, he is pictured there with the proclamation that the commissioners gave him at their Tuesday meeting. He is the third from the left, the second from the right, flanked by the other county commissioners from the left, John Hensler, Paul Haller, and on the other end, Donnie Willis. Gary Keller, for 35 years, was the executive director of the Jackson Metropolitan Housing Authority. That is the local board that oversees government subsidized housing in Jackson County. That is family housing, family apartments at Fairview Terrace in Wellston and Bundy Heights in Wellston, senior citizen and disabled housing at the Cambrian here in downtown Jackson. And, overseeing the apartment complexes under the federal guidelines with all the rules, that was a job. And, you didn't hear a lot about it because it was a pretty smooth operation under Gary. He retired effective the end of April. Rhonda Downey is the new executive director. She took over on May the 1st. We asked, after we saw what happened with the commissioners and took the picture and wrote a story, we asked Gary Keller for a quote. This is what he said. Of course, he deflected any credit that he surely deserves for all his work over the years. He said, "I was very honored to receive the retirement resolution from the Jackson County Commissioners. All three of these gentlemen are outstanding members of the community. It was extremely kind of them to recognize my 35 years as director of the JMHA. I also want to thank the many members of the JMHA board I worked with over the 35 years, along with the Jackson Metropolitan Housing Authority staff. I work with a great team that always serve the best interests of Jackson County residents." That's a 5-member board. Jennifer Sharon McWilliams of Wellston is the board chair right now. All right, I talked about praying tonight. I really am going to pray, but a lot of other people are going to pray. It is the National Day of Prayer. And there's actually a ceremony in Vinton County today at noon that I know Red Thompson Jr. is going to check out. We'll have some coverage of that, but also big program set in both Jackson and Wellston tonight. And right up top, we do want to tell you that the Day of Prayer program in Wellston, they made a decision just a day or two ago that they're going to change the site. It was going to be outdoors at Pride Park, but they were concerned about the weather. I don't think it's going to rain, but it is a little cool maybe for a 7 o'clock program outside. They're going to do it at the New Life Source Apostolic Church on Driving Park Road in Wellston. That is the large church. You probably see it when you go to the fairgrounds, sitting off to the left there as you go up the fairgrounds road. But it's a very, very nice facility. Michael Jadrosink, who is the pastor of that church, is also the leader and the organizer of the Wellston Day of Prayer. And that's where that will take place. Our own John Pelletier will be taking part in that ceremony, in addition to what he does here as the sales manager, the sales director for Total Media. He is also the pastor of the First Presbyterian Church of Wellston. He's emceed so many things we can't count them, and he will be there tonight to do that. Lots of other people participating in that program as well, pastors, lay people, church choirs, etc. And that is at 7 o'clock tonight at the Life Source Apostolic Church in Wellston. In Jackson, the ad hoc Day of Prayer Committee has set up the program here. It's going to be 7 p.m. at the Family Life Center of the Christ United Methodist Church. That's indoors, of course. That will start at 7 p.m. And Mayor Randy Evans has already issued a proclamation saying that in Jackson, it's officially the National Day of Prayer. And he encourages all citizens to observe the day, reflecting on the blessings that we have in this nation and in our communities. This is the 70th observance of the National Day of Prayer all across the country. They've been doing it for quite a few years here in Jackson. The event in Jackson is considered a county-wide event with a lot of participation from Jackson and Oak Hill. Several years ago, Wellston started their own National Day of Prayer, and that event is pretty local as far as the participation is concerned from Wellston area churches and choirs and folks from in and around that city. Tonight, the Master of Ceremonies for the Jackson County National Day of Prayer program will be our own Matt McKee. He will be doing the ceremony. There'll be other people that will be doing other themed prayers along the way. There'll be singing groups there as well, choir groups from both Jackson and Oak Hill. And I'll be doing the prayer for the media that night. So that's why I'm not doing karaoke. You'll have to give me a pass.
Fair enough, Pete.
All right.
Yep, we'll give you a pass on that one.
Okay. All right. Another thing we want to tell you about, a little bit of update about the new restaurant that's going to be opening in Wellston sometime this summer.
Mm-hmm.
It's the former Lee's Steakhouse. It's called the Happenings Bistro. We mentioned this the other day on our report, but we touched base with the new owners, and we wanted to give you a little update there. Still no firm date on when it's going to open, but they would like it to be as soon as possible, and it will definitely be sometime this summer. The new owners are Jeff and Cecilia Plummer. They released this statement to the Telegram and Total Media. They say, "We are still in the middle of an extensive renovation, but we have made much progress. However, we still have many details that need to be completed. We hope to open soon." And the little watchword that they go by, the watch phrase they go by to say what they're going to do, sounds pretty good to me. Comfort food with local flair. And I know that there'll be some elements that will remind you of Lee's, but there'll be lots of new wrinkles as well with the Happenings Bistro. Do we have a bistro in Jackson County? I don't think we've ever used that word before.
I don't know. It sounds fancy,
Very
doesn't it?
trendy, right? So we're excited to see what happens. That restaurant, of course, on South Pennsylvania Avenue in Wellston. A lot of folks excited about that, especially in Wellston, because that certainly that has been a long-time institution as a sit-down restaurant in that city.
Yep.
All right, we want to tip our hat to one of the Jackson High School valedictorians. We're going to announce them officially, we think, next week, who the valedictorians are at Jackson High School. But one young man who is a valedictorian also received one of the most prestigious scholarships that you can receive in the state of Ohio, and that is the Franklin Walter All-Scholastic Scholarship. And the Jackson County winner is Jackson High School senior Owen White. Owen, there are only 88 winners in the state, one for each county, and Owen White was the winner of the Franklin B. Walter All-Scholastic Award Program in Jackson County. And we had a story about that in our Wednesday paper. It's also online as well. It's got a lot of attention on our Facebook page. A lot of people know the family, and they know what a prestigious honor that is. All right, this Saturday evening, it'll be hopping at Oak Hill High School. It's their week for the prom. And here are the candidates for prom royalty that you see if you're watching on TV or on your computer. The prom will be on Saturday evening, and there will be four different activities, actually. There will be the Grand March, and how they're going to do the Grand March is it's going to be at 6 o'clock, and it's going to be the prom goers and their dates will enter the front door of the high school. So it will be outdoors. That will allow more people to watch from the sides than if it were indoors, like in the gymnasium or in the cafeteria. But the names of the prom royalty candidates, let me give you those since we have that picture up there. They are Madison Conley, Sophia Myers, Amber Runyon, Desiree Sharp, Hallie Kaiser, Cody Wright, Flint Barger, Brock Harden, Garrett Hughes, Jonathan Mullet, Gideon Lyle Wolford, and Nathan Vernon. And I know that they were chosen by their peers. One of them will be the queen, and one of them will be the king, and they will be announced as the royalty at the beginning of that Grand March. But the Grand March, they'll be able to have their masks off when that takes place and get their picture taken and be seen by all the public that wants to go there. They'll have it set up to make it as safe as possible, but it will be kind of like an outdoor event as they enter the building. After the Grand March, there will be a sit-down dinner inside, catered by the Scioto River. Then there will be the prom inside the gymnasium, and then there will be an after party as well with the theme of Casino Night. And the prom theme is at the Ritz. So the Oak Hill folks have organized that for it to be as safe as possible. Students may dance, but they have to wear face masks, and they're not supposed to dance with other folks, and they're not supposed to do any group dancing. So they'll be policing this, but it should be a lot of fun. We saw those pictures last week from the Wellston prom, and we know the Vinton County prom went as well too. I think the Jackson prom is not until the weekend of May the 15th.
Yeah, it's May. Yeah, later on in May.
Right, and they set that back later than usual, just hoping, that it would continue to get better on the COVID-19 front. Okay, the Vinton County Historical and Genealogical Society, They do a memorial program at a area cemetery every year around Memorial Day, and that is to honor some veteran, distinguished veteran from yesteryear who either gave their life in the service of their country or who served their country for a long time. The Genealogical Society and Historical Society has announced that the honoree this year will be Edward M. Newsom, who was a Civil War veteran from Benton County. He is buried in the Wilkesville Cemetery, and that ceremony will be Saturday, May the 22nd at 11 a.m. That is the not Memorial Day weekend Saturday, but the weekend before Memorial Day. That'll be at 11 a.m. at his gravesite, and the public is welcome to attend. We'll be telling you more about that as we get closer to that date. Also, this is important news in the village of MacArthur. The new tornado siren is now in place. It had been down for a while, so when they do the siren tests and the warnings, which they practice on a monthly basis in case there's a real disaster like a tornado or a flood or whatever. They have to make the public aware that there is a emergency situation. That siren is now in place, and it will be it has already been tested, and it will be tested again when there is a countywide test later this month. Also, there's a neat tradition that's going to continue in Jackson this year. You and I, Jennifer, know about it because we've been through it. That's the Sarita Call Senior Breakfast. That started way back in 1954 when the late Sarita Call thought there should be some sort of event for the graduating seniors in the morning. So the Senior Breakfast was born. It continued even after she passed. Think that the Call family, Sarita, had 6 or 7 kids. Dan Call was the first, by the way, our current city councilman. He was a senior that year in 1954. But it's a very nice event that the senior mothers put on. But it is school endorsed, and it's at the school. This year it will be at the cafetorium. But they have to plan this ahead of time. And, of course, they need support from the community as well as the organizing mothers doing this. But they're going to have a planning meeting on Wednesday, May the 13th. That's next Wednesday at 7 p.m. at the Jackson High School Commons, and this will be an organizational meeting to make preparations for this year's Sarita Call Senior Breakfast. And it is always on the morning of graduation, and that will be Friday, May the 28th. So if you're a senior class mother and you haven't already heard, please do go out to this organization meeting. The more hands you have, the better it will be. It's a big deal. We've got about 180 seniors graduating. They need to be fed, and it needs to be set up. And this year, I'm sure there's going to be certain protocols in place because of COVID-19, but it's on for right now. Okay, and one last reminder, we told you about this earlier in the week, but this is the evening for the Wellston High School Arts Fair as far as a public viewing is concerned. It will be from 3 to 7 p.m. in the gymnasium. The public is welcome to attend.
Very good, Pete.
All right, there you are.
Well, thank you. And, I have to say, in all the years we've been doing this now, I don't know that you've ever serenaded me. So I feel so important today.
I don't know why I did that.
I thought it was fantastic.
Okay, since I subjected people to the air on this, I'll pray for forgiveness too. All right? Okay.
You're a hoot. Thank you, Pete. All right, and Pete's Morning News Update is, of course, always brought to you by Nia Henry, agent for Appalachia Realty. If you are looking to buy or sell or have any real estate questions or needs, give Nia a call, please. 740-418-4135. And she'll be out working hard for you, the same as she is many, many other folks. So she's a good girl. All right, let's head on over to your Zip Printing weather forecast, where you can get those graduation yard signs. We've been talking a lot about graduations and proms and things. It's that time of the year to commemorate that graduate that you have in your family or friends. 2x3 banners, $25 each. The custom yard signs are 2-sided, only $15 each. Senior shirts and printed napkins. If you're having a party, all of those things available by visiting yourtotalmedia.shop. Or you can shop for those graduation announcements at zipprinting.carlsoncraft.com. Weather forecast for today looking pretty nice. Partly cloudy with highs around 65 degrees. On my way in this morning, the sun was shining. The birds were chirping. Luckily not here in the studio. as they were the other day. Although I do have to say that was the most obedient bird I've ever seen in my life. It was a pretty good scout there. For tonight, mostly cloudy. Showers are likely overnight tonight with lows around 43 degrees. And for Friday, partly cloudy. Showers are likely tomorrow with highs around 61 degrees. So looking on through the weekend for the Wild Turkey Festival, Saturday looking like a gorgeous day there for the parade and the queen crowning. Maybe a little chance of rain on Sunday. So just wear your jacket and you'll be A-okay at this year's Wild Turkey Festival. And remember, the Wild Turkey Festival Committee is setting a precedent for the rest of the fairs and festivals this coming season. So please behave yourself, listen to the rules, follow them, and they will be kind of under the microscope for what future fairs and festivals get to do this year. So please make sure that you do adhere to the rules as much as you can. All right, our good friend Courtney is in the house. What up, girl? She's in front of the camera today, not behind it, and we're always so happy to have you here.
Never know.
You just never know.
No.
James is back. We did not have to chase a bird through the studio this morning, so...
I mean, I wouldn't be afraid if we did, though. You handled that very well. Like, I think if restaurant business doesn't work out or
bird
Main
whisperer.
Street TV, you can just be a bird wrangler or whisperer.
It was so weird because I will say, like, James is like, you open the curtain. And I'm like thinking, okay, fine. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to open this curtain and this thing is going to be like that movie where they just come
Right.
like, it's like,
Right.
and it just didn't.
Popped down. It was like,
just
when-
like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, what camera do I look at?
Yeah, right. Like, I'm here for the show. If you didn't see it, you have to tune into our Facebook page. We had a bird in the studio the other day, and it was a very obedient and sweet birdie that just, we opened the door and it walked right out.
Right out.
It just did what it was supposed to.
Yep.
Made us look like we knew what we were doing, for sure.
I know.
Very funny. Hey, speaking of birds, to start off this morning, I have the strangest. What?
So speaking of birds.
What is that?
He just flipped me the bird.
Oh,
And now he's laughing and said, speaking of birds. That is so wrong.
James is a little feisty after his day off.
He gets a day off and he's just flipping us off. Oh my God.
He's got that iced coffee over there. He's just
He
ready
is
to
sassy
go.
today. What is happening? I thought we were friends.
Pete's singing just got me pumped up.
No, Pete.
I
Did you get
missed
to
that.
see
No,
Pete
I
sang
missed
Oklahoma?
that.
It was great.
Daggone it.
It was so good. He did such a good job. I
That
know
was-
now what Pete can do in his next life.
Right?
Yes, when he gives up the newspaper. That's almost as funny as James flipping me the bird. But no, speaking of birds, what?
James is just giggling. I wish I had a camera I could
He
turn
cracks
around on
himself
him.
up.
I do. I'm my own biggest fan. That's 100% true.
I'm like, why is he laughing over there? Then all of a sudden, here comes the finger. Okay. No, speaking of birds, don't do it
Don't.
again. This lady saw this TikTok video, right? And she is in England. Now, who thinks to do this? I'll never know. She goes to the store, buys a carton of free-range duck eggs. And she's like, okay, I'm going to try this experiment. So she takes them home and puts them in an incubator.
Nuh-uh.
And she's like, I want to see if something hatches out of these free-range duck eggs. Because she had heard, of it, but she's like, there's no way this is going to work. So a month later, you're not going to believe this, a baby duck hatched out of one of the eggs.
I don't like that.
Isn't that crazy? So she's like, oh my, freaking out. And she said everyone was making fun of her. Like, everyone was like,
Right.
you're an idiot.
Right,
Like, this is not
Right.
going to work. You're just going to end up hard boiling these eggs in the
Right.
incubator, whatever. She did it back in March, and she thought, I just want to see if I can hatch a bird from a store-bought egg. She kept them warm. At the end of April, a bird popped out. She said, during the whole process, everyone was looking at me thinking, are you insane? I was just giving it a go as a little experiment. They all thought I would just end up with a boiled egg. Well, I definitely proved them wrong, and everyone was shocked. She continued on, I am amazed, and it really hit me when I saw it come out of its shell. I thought, what have I done? It's just mad. My pet could have easily been on someone's toast.
Oh, that's what I mean. I don't like that.
I know.
now.
That's
So
what
now
I'm...
you're.
So I'm thinking... So, this is confusing to me. So, what makes eggs that you buy in the store, like, not...
Yeah.
Are they really chickens waiting to be hatched, or are they not fertilized? Or evidently this egg was fertilized, so I don't understand how that all works. Does anyone know?
I don't know how eggs work. Which came first, the chicken or the
I
egg?
know, right? It's mind-blowing. She said, when we bought the egg, my mom was like, are you sure? And she said, I just had to keep them warm on the way home. Although they had been on a shelf for a few days, I didn't think it was going to work. She put them in the airing cupboard. She'd never done anything like this before, so she was shocked to find that one was fertile. So, yes. So, are we literally eating, like...
Don't say it. Don't take eggs away from me, Jennifer.
I know!
So
It's
was
a
it
thought, though.
Was it like a grocery store? Or was it just like a
Yeah.
farmer's market?
No,
It
a
was like
grocery store.
Grocery store.
It's
Like,
they're free range duck eggs in the package, like it shows it. There were six eggs in the package, free range duck eggs. So out comes this little duck. The good news is she says she's going to keep it as a pet. So
somebody out there, please let me know that I am okay eating my eggs. Can't take my eggs away from me. Like, I can't go to Kroger's, buy a dozen eggs, and then, like, put them in an incubator and chickens come out. That's not how that works, right?
well, obviously it is in England. Is that
I
not the
probably should've-
freakiest story?
We probably learned about this in school.
Probably. No?
We should have paid attention.
I don't know.
Well, so I guess I'm confused. So what makes
We're
a
gonna have
chicken come out of an egg versus like the eggs that we're supposed to eat that there's not a chicken in
We're
it?
going to have to get Kim Harless back on the show, and this time she's just going to have to wear her teacher's hat and teach us about chickens and eggs.
Yeah, I mean, like my mind is seriously blown right now.
Yeah, I don't like it.
And then I think about free range. So, like my father-in-law, Randy, has tons of chickens, and his chickens is ridiculous. Like he loves his chickens, right?
Right.
And he puts them to bed every night at the exact time, and they come out at the exact time, and like they're on this whole schedule and routine and whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, but they're free range, so they're just doing their thing. Are some of those eggs like fertilized or?
Probably.
We sound so city slicker right now
I know, right?
because I don't know.
I bet they are. I just felt like we should end the show now. I'm so devastated.
I know, right? I totally burst Courtney's bubble.
I know, I'm so upset. Oh my goodness.
Well, do you have something positive then to talk about?
Hey, guess who's going to be here Tuesday next week?
Who?
Amanda Crabtree.
Amanda Crabtree in the house.
Right. She's
Whoop,
going to come
whoop.
talk about the Jackson Rotary Chili and Bean Dinner they have coming up actually Tuesday, May 11th.
Very good, and
Yep.
look forward to that. So that will be fun.
Missed her face, so that'll
We
be interesting to talk about. But it's happening. I will give you the deets, and then she can tell you more about it. But
Okay.
it's happening on May 11th. I don't know if Pete's brought it up or not, but 11 to 6 at the Sportsman Fish Booth. You can get soup, beans, or chili, hot dog, cornbread, or pop.
Yes,
and
please.
It's for their support the senior scholarships that the Rotary gives out each year. So.
You know, and that's awesome. And this Farmer Sportsman is becoming quite the quite the
Yeah.
venue to have these fundraisers. And, you know, it's great because it is used numerous times throughout the year by the farmer sportsmen, but now they're
Right.
able to allow other folks to use it as well. And
Yeah,
and
it's nice to see.
it is. It's nice
Yeah.
to see them sharing
Right.
and
yeah.
helping out with definitely with local, you know, clubs and that kind of stuff. Also, I know Diana and some of the gang from the Humane Society will be here next week, which I forgot to tell you about. But that's okay.
All right.
To talk about some, I think, fundraisers that they have
Oh, cool.
coming up, basket raffle maybe or something to that effect. And so anyway, they'll be here sometime next week to talk about that. And we always look forward to having them. And of course, you know, the critters out there are near and dear to all of our hearts.
Even the ones that haven't hatched yet.
Even the ones that haven't hatched yet. I have to admit, you know, if you're ever having a bad day and you just need a little pick-me-up, head on out to the Tractor Supply store.
Oh, the little chicks. And
Because
ducks
you can't
and-
help, but I went in there the other day to grab something and I just heard beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh man. So I just went back and I just sat there and watched the little chickens and
Playing
stuff.
around.
They're just so cute and they're like this big and they're just adorable. And you just can't be in a bad mood when you see them.
I follow this
So cute.
girl on Instagram, and she got chickens, and I swear to goodness, she got it. It seems like she just got them, like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
And they're already like
chickens.
Yeah, I was like, dang, those things grow fast. We need a chicken education.
We need a chicken farmer in here to explain some of this stuff to us.
We should get Evan Shaw back. Remember, he had the
Evan did have chickens.
raising chickens was his pandemic hobby.
Oh,
That's
nice. A lot of
right.
people did that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep asking Jamie to get chickens, and he's like, no, my dad does that, and no, we're not getting chickens.
Yeah, I don't.
He keeps shutting me down.
I live in town, so I don't think I can have chickens. But my Raven, my German Shepherd mix, has quite a prey drive, so I don't think it would be very
Probably
good
not end
have
well with the
chickens while I
chickens.
have her,
Yeah,
so.
probably not so much.
She'd probably have a blast.
Yeah, she's like, this is the funnest toy ever.
This is great.
Yeah, if you need some exercise, just let her out with a pen full of chickens.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So, do you know what happened at 9 p.m. 17 years ago?
9 p.m. 17.
On today. Today at 9 p.m. 17 years ago.
What is today? May 6th?
6th.
17 years ago would be, what, 2003?
2004.
Or 2004? I have no idea.
Well, at 9 p.m., that familiar theme song, I'll Be There For You, played the last time at the beginning of the end on the last one of Friends.
That was that long ago?
Yes.
Well, it doesn't count because it's on like 24/7.
Right? You can watch it anytime you want
That
now.
theme song will never not be on the TV.
Yep. I can't believe
But
that 17 years ago
17 years
was the
ago.
last episode of Friends.
That is crazy.
Yep.
And they all kind of went their separate ways.
Yep. Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah,
haven't
if you,
got
I mean,
there.
I'm sorry, but if you haven't seen it in the last 17 years, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, I tell you what, that show, hands down, I feel like is the best comedy ever.
It was. It's so relatable, even in today's world, and
little
yeah.
clips of it like show up on my Facebook feed every now and again, and I just giggle. Like last night was one where Ross was playing the bagpipes, and he wanted to play them for Monica and Chandler's wedding, and he's like playing it, and then he's like, you all know it, sing along, and Phoebe starts making these noises along with the back. I was just giggling and laughing. People think I'm crazy.
You know,
but
and there's
I love
so-
that show.
I know it was good. No, there's so many like, one-liners and things that came out of
Yeah.
that too that
Right.
I think probably one of the funniest ones that I ever saw, and I don't know why it struck me so funny, was when Ross kept going, he went to the spray tan booth.
Yeah, I kept turning the wrong way.
Because we've all gone to the spray tan booth and it talks to you, right?
Yeah.
And so you're just like, am I doing this right?
Right.
And then
It's
it would tell him to go somewhere, and then he would turn around because it wouldn't do it, and then it would spray him again in exactly the same spot.
right. Yeah.
I don't know why that one was so funny to me, but
Yeah. It was
I have to
pretty
object to your notion that we have all experienced that.
Spray
Because I have
tan booth.
absolutely not experienced that.
oh, you can give me the bird, but you haven't been to the suntan booth. Okay, spray tan
Spray
booth.
tan.
Put that on the to-do list to get James at a spray tan booth.
That's right. I expect that you will go this week.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got to look good for Big Steve from the Moonshiners show at the Wild Turkey Festival.
That's right. Yes. Wild Turkey Festival is going on. Don't forget that. Kicks off today. And who did you say was coming?
Big Steve.
And who's Big Steve?
He's on some moonshine TV show.
Yes.
See if I can find it again.
Is he bringing the moonshine with him?
I don't know. Probably not. It's probably not legal. I don't know.
I do have a
Big
list.
Steve from Moonshiner Master Distillers TV show will be on hand Friday and Saturday signing autographs.
Nice.
Well, that's
So if
cool.
you are a Big Steve fan, you are in luck.
There you go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I do have, I don't know if Pete's mentioned the schedule at all,
Just
briefly.
briefly, yeah. So we
Um,
could go over that.
Looks like tomorrow, Friday night at 7 p.m., Eric Atkinson takes the stage. And then Michelle Robinson Band, the Michelle Robinson Band plays after that.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts at 7, and then she's supposed to play about 9.
Nice.
And then on Saturday, May 8th at 3 p.m., the Nostalgics Big Band is playing. And then the Chase Band plays at 7:30
After the
And-
parade.
after the parade. And then Red Planet plays at 9. Is that the one that's been hunting
Yeah,
Bigfoot?
those are the guys. Those are the Bigfoot guys.
Ooh, so you might see Bigfoot that
Yeah.
day.
You never know.
And
Bigfoot and Big Steve.
Right, Bigfoot, Big Steve, Red Planet. I mean,
This
a lot
is
of stuff
great.
happening downtown.
Big Red Planet.
Big Red.
I mean,
Planet.
isn't it nice just to be able to get out and get some festival food and stuff? Just like something normal, you know?
Right?
What do you think Bigfoot's favorite fair food is?
Deep fried
Like
butter.
those giant, like
Beef jerky.
Oh well, yeah, maybe. I was thinking
Aw,
maybe
you're
those like
thinking of-
giant, like pork tenderloin sandwiches that are like
The real
that big.
Yeah.
ones.
Seems like something Bigfoot would be into.
Probably.
I feel like there isn't a fair food Bigfoot wouldn't turn down.
I'd
That's
say you're
probably true.
probably right.
But then the baby contest is at
Yes.
1 o'clock on Sunday. So take all
Sunday.
your cute little
Keep,
babies.
Yep.
keep Jen
There's a car
far
show,
away
too.
from. If it's a diaper contest,
Yeah,
keep
don't
Jen
let
far
Jen
away
change
from.
the
Yeah,
diaper.
you don't want me. I mean, I'm just gonna say if anyone ever needs their child babysat, don't call this one because I don't know
I have
anything
faith
about
in
it.
you. I think if it's not a contest, you'd be all right.
I forgot
think
to
you
put
got
the
a little-
kids' clothes back on.
I think you got a little competitive
I think-
between you and Amanda
I
Crabtree.
think the body slam was worse than you forgetting to put its clothes back on.
So I feel like as long as you're not in a hurry and you don't have someplace to be, it might be all right.
What if she did have someplace she needed to be?
That kid would just not have any clothes on.
Like the bank closes in 15 minutes and she's got to change that
Gotta
diaper.
go.
I'd just be grabbing it by the one leg and slinging that sucker down.
They have the Apple Festival. We should still do that again.
Yeah,
We should go up and take part in the real stuff.
yeah. I don't think that I would fare very well with that. I
I think we should
lost
try.
miserably. I think
I
they
mean-
disqualified me. This is also after I got banned from the apple peeling contest because I sucked so bad at it. They said that I was going to cut a limb off, and they took my knife from me.
Poor thing.
Just saying.
What's that Will Ferrell movie where he's such a bad police officer they take his gun away and give him a wooden one?
I don't know.
They took Jen's apple peeling knife away and gave her a wooden one.
It was, my peel was like this
Give it.
long, and they came and took my knife from me.
Jen gets a shank.
Yeah, right.
It ends up being more dangerous.
No, they're gonna give me one of those crank things.
Right?
That's
I
like
would have
cheating.
those.
Yeah. So here's one for you. A Belgian farmer was mowing his grass with his tractor, or mowing his fields with his tractor, and evidently, due to the 1820 Treaty of something, it's a treaty of something or other.
That begins with a C?
Yes. There was this treaty between Belgium and France, and they put these giant rocks as the border between the two countries. And dude takes his tractor and moves one of the stones.
Did he know?
I don't know. It was a 330-pound stone. He moved it out of the path of his tractor and did not return it to its original location, which therefore made Belgium bigger. He literally moved.
He literally made the country bigger.
He made the country bigger. Belgium and our municipality are enlarged, but the French don't agree, obviously. So I'm going to have to put things back in place, he wrote. They say he won't face any legal consequences if he returns the stone to its original position. He said, I was happy that my town was bigger, but the mayor on the other side did not think it was as funny as I was. So he moved it. He made his town and the country bigger by 7.5 feet. Isn't that hilarious?
I feel like this day and age, there might be a better way to keep track of that border.
Wouldn't you think? So, and
Just saying.
the reason he got caught was there was just out, like, historians out just walking along the border,
You're
like,
wait, that looks.
and they're like, why is that stone completely out of place? So, yeah. And it was him. So Belgium got a little bigger there for a minute, but
So now somebody's going to have to make a bunch of do not move signs and put on all those rocks.
exactly.
On both sides.
No trespassing. Do not move the rocks.
Yep.
I don't know. How do you move a 330-pound rock anyway? I mean, that's a lot for a tractor, I would think. Maybe not. I guess if it was a big tractor, it wouldn't be.
We don't know how chickens work. I doubt we know how tractors work.
Amen, sister.
So we know how much we love our dogs.
Yes.
And
With all our hearts.
You could be the most famous person in the world. Do you think your dog knows that, like, you're famous and you need to behave? Probably not.
I think your dog just loves you no matter what.
So have you seen the video of the Irish president of Ireland? He is on his lawn giving a speech or doing something to the press, and his great Burmese mountain dog is beside him
No.
and does not care that this is the president of Ireland. It's so cute. I don't know if James can get it to play or not, but he wants to play, and he wants the pets, and he does not care that there is a very important thing happening right now in this moment. Is that not the
Dad.
cutest thing
Hey,
ever?
Dad.
Dad, pay attention to me. Dad, pet me. Throw the ball. Throw the ball. That is so cute, though.
That
It's
is
like
hilarious.
it just takes your dog to bring you down a couple notches, right?
Exactly. They can put you in your place real
Right.
quick.
You ain't that important. Come play with me.
It's all about this one right here.
Right. I run the show.
Yeah, they say cats are like that, but
Yeah.
no, that is hilarious. I had not seen that.
I
It's
thought
so
it was
cute.
adorable. Most dogs are adorable anyway.
Yes.
Big old fluffy face and
I know. You just want to just pinch their cheeks all the time.
yeah.
So cute. Let's see. I have a couple of stories here. So there is Christie's has announced they are auctioning off a bottle of French wine. I think we should buy it. I mean, I'm a wine lover. It spent more than a year aging. Do you know where?
With the diamonds?
In a duck egg incubator.
He's just really full of it today, isn't
We're
he?
not giving you a day off. Ever
Never again. He gets too witty.
Don't ask.
No, it aged on the International Space Station for a year.
How was I supposed to guess that?
I don't know.
Oh, Christie's is the
The auction house.
Never mind.
Yeah. It is a bottle of Petrus 2000. It was one of a dozen bottles of wine that were launched into orbit in 2019 and spent nearly 440 days in space before being brought back to Earth. A bottle of wine that spent time in space is compared to a bottle that aged on Earth, and a tasting featured a dozen wine professionals and scientists, and they said that the space bottles tasted different.
I would think, because wouldn't they have to be in like something so it doesn't pressurize and stuff?
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good question. I don't know. It said the aromatics were more floral and more smoky than the ones that aged here on Earth. It's being sold with a second bottle that was aged on Earth, so they can compare the two.
compare the two.
Yep.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
What's the starting bid? Does it tell you that?
No, but
I'm
they
guessing it's not going to be within our price range.
No, it is not. They expect it to sell for $1 million.
Oh yeah, we're not tasting that. I'm just going to take their word for it.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to taste their word for it.
The person that does buy that, you think they're going to drink it, or you think they're just going to put it on a shelf and be like, "Oh yes, that was aged on the
That was-
International Space Station."
Yeah, like I'm going to pet it every
435
day.
days.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's such a catch-22. You get these nice bottles of wine, and you're like, I don't want to drink them because.
Right.
But then, what's the point
What's
of
the
having
point
them?
in having them?
It also comes with a decanter, glasses, and a corkscrew made from a meteorite.
Well, so you got to drink it. You got to use this corkscrew.
You got to use this
you got.
corkscrew made out of a meteorite. Yeah. So I don't know. They do say
wonder
that-
if it's the only, because you said they sent 12 bottles up. Wonder if it's the only bottle that survived. Well, obviously somebody's tasted it.
Yeah, I'd say that this is they're just auctioning off one. Christy said the wine bottle is available immediately through a private sale. It does not say, like, I guess you could buy it now. With proceeds going toward funding future space missions and wine research. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I would think it would be interesting to know how they actually got it up there, because, I mean, when we traveled out west and the different in elevation and stuff, like, I never really thought of that. And then, like, you had to take snacks and your bag of chips is about ready to explode.
It's going to blow up.
Yeah.
You know, and
Like-
that's fair enough, because you're right. They would have to have, like, pressurized it somehow.
And you wonder if they pressurize it and don't send it to space, if it still tastes the same.
Right.
Maybe it's not the fact that it went to space, it's the fact that they pressurized it.
I don't know.
I think more tests could be done. I'm glad somebody's going to pay $1 million
For science.
to do that wine research for me.
That's right. So now we have to have a chicken farmer and a wine connoisseur on here to explain all the questions that we have.
And somebody that knows how much weight a tractor can lift.
True that. Maybe the chicken farmer can do double duty.
How crazy it would be if we had one person to answer all those questions.
There's probably that person out there.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah. And now this is a cute story. It's like a real life Doogie Howser. So this kid in North Carolina, he's 12 years old. He took a few extra classes in his spare time during his COVID-19 pandemic lockdown. 12 years old. He is now preparing to graduate high school and college this week. Yeah.
A few extra classes?
Few extra classes he took. He is, I mean, it's only an associate's degree.
Oh, I mean.
You
okay.
know, this 12-year-old. Can you believe that?
Why are we even talking about it?
He will graduate Concord Academy High School actually, he's going to graduate college before he graduates high school, which is really bizarre. A week apart. He has a 4.0 GPA at the college and a 5.45 GPA in high school, which makes him the class valedictorian. How do you get a 5-point GPA?
I don't know.
I never had to worry about that.
Didn't
It was never in my thing.
No.
He said, I went through all the grades in school at a faster pace. I'm like a sponge. I take in knowledge very fast. He said he had extra time during COVID and discovered that if he just added a couple of extra classes, he could graduate from both schools at the same time. So he ended up completing the equivalent of 2 years of high school and 2 years of community college classes in 1 year.
He's like the real Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, it's like, he said his lifelong interest in technology and robots led him to create his own startup, which aims to simplify how smart home technology works. Of course, at 12. I mean,
gosh.
you know, my entrepreneurial goal is to build technology that enables people to live better lives.
Bring it on.
Good for you, dude. James, you'll like this kid. He still makes time for activities like basketball and building Lego sets.
Hey, seriously, he said he was into robotics. Like, Lego makes a lot of like educational things. That is really what it's
That
geared
would be in
toward,
his wheelhouse.
inspiring kids like that to get into STEM programs.
For sure. But I guess it's not even necessarily having like the gray matter to get through the classes and stuff. I mean, how do you at 12 have the maturity and the like
the ambition, the drive?
Yeah, to number one, do that, and number two, have entrepreneurial spirit at 12 to like start your own company and stuff. I mean, at 12 we were what, in the 6th grade?
No.
I think we were still playing with Barbies at 12. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, 12 is that awkward age that you're like, you're still playing with dolls, but you also want to be grown up.
Yeah, you want to be.
and
So you're like sneaking playing with your
Yeah,
dolls,
yeah.
and then you have to be cool in front of certain people. Yeah. Well, he's just starting his own company and technology company.
Yeah.
So
Good
go
for
figure.
him. Good for his parents.
I know. Evidently, they've
Give
been
them some credit.
quite
Whoever raised
encouraging.
you. Yeah.
Because I guess the question could be asked though: are you missing out by graduating college and high school that early? Like, are you missing out on some of the fun things that? Because no matter what, you're going to be, for lack of better words, like a freak of nature. Like, you're not going to be
Right.
the same as your peers.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like to me that he's going to make a lot of money, and if he misses out on prom later on in life, he can have his own.
Yeah, like maybe he doesn't care.
Yeah, it sounds like me that might not be his priority, and that's fine.
I think you're right about that. All right. As we said, we were still playing with Barbies, so.
Yeah. Who am I to say?
Right.
Him creating a probably futuristic multi-million-dollar company, and he missed out on prom. Like,
Yeah. Poor kid. As we're all feeling sorry for him, and he's laughing his rear end off at us. We
making
still
our
don't know what
lives
we want to
better
do.
with our smart homes.
All right. Well, we do have to get out of here for the day. Did want to thank our friends at Callahan Hardware. Our good friend Jeff was supposed to be here today, but he's
feeling under the weather.
feeling a little under the weather, so he rescheduled for next week, right?
Correct.
So we'll just have to wait and do riddles next week.
I was going to bring one up, but I guess we did have our own riddle about the eggs. Maybe he'd know. Jeff might know, maybe.
We need to call Jeff and have him have the answer by the time next week rolls around.
riddles for us.
That's right. Also did want to thank Chip and Kathy Smalley at the shop. If you have any events coming up, I know they are opening back up again. If you have a car show, as the Wild Turkey Festival, the baby contest, all of that stuff, you need plaques, trophies, anything like that, please give Chip and Kathy a call at 988-2841 at the shop, and they do all the custom engraving for you, and they can help you design that perfect award for somebody. Also, a big shout out to the Holzaffel family, the filling station, the store at Broadway and Penn and Wellston, and Quick Stop here in Jackson. Stop in and see them, where they put the convenience back in the convenience store. And Carmen, the Carman, where the deals are great. Stop out, see them, or visit their website, carmansusecars.com, and you can check out their great deals and tell them you want the Channel 15 discount, and you might get a little bit better price.
And this is your 3-day warning. Because you know what is on Sunday?
Mother's Day.
You can get great presents at all of those locations.
That's right. Do not forget mother, because there will be a time where you will be very, very sorry that you forgot your mother.
That's true.
So don't do that. Yeah.
Hey Courtney, before we leave, take another drink of your drink.
Is it gone?
Ha!
It's magic.
It is.
I didn't even realize that earlier when I was drinking. That's funny.
So
Have an
funny.
invisible cup.
It is. It's so fun.
You'll never know what's in it.
Ooh. What would be funny is if the liquid actually showed up in it.
Yeah.
All that Courtney's got booze in there again.
Not that magic.
All right. Well, we do have to get out of here for the day. We'll be back here on Friday tomorrow and talk a little bit more about the happenings at the Wild Turkey Festival. But don't forget, opening ceremonies tonight. And I think they always do a ride preview and some great things. So if you're looking for something to do tonight, great entertainment, karaoke, and all the fun at this year's Benton County Wild Turkey Festival, the first festival since, well, all this madness happened. So get out, enjoy some great food, and just have a good time. So we'll be back here tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye, everyone.